Hello, I'm Sam from Jessup Says. The focus of my channel is to share and educate on how to buy less, buy better. It's not necessarily about buying less things, it's about buying something that fits its purpose perfectly and serves you for as long as possible. I'm still relishing in my first 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for everyone who's watched a video or is watching this video. I do genuinely really appreciate the support so far. I'm excited to keep improving the channel, and the best way that the channel improves is with the help of the people who watch the channel. On that note, another video request or a suggestion from the community came through in the comment section, and it's a video that due to the last few months of my life I'm kind of interested to make. The question came from the esteemed Dick Wintered. Hopefully YouTube doesn't demonetize us for that. And the request was for 10 things I'm wearing this winter, or tips on layering up. And as I've been living out of a carry-on case for the last couple of months, it seemed extremely relevant for me to take on the 10 things I'm wearing, because my little wee suitcase really doesn't have a lot more things than about 10 items. So I've had to be very picky with what I pack, and it's actually winter, so I need quite a versatile wardrobe. I also have some things that I don't have, but I would really like to have. So the list of 10 things will also have some things I wish I had sprinkled at the end. First of all, some context on the weather where I'm currently living. It's currently winter here in the Southern Hemisphere, and even though this is Australia, it actually gets what I call decently cold down here. In the last month or so, it's had an average low temperature of around 4 degrees Celsius, which is 39.2 Fahrenheit, and a high of around 15 degrees or 15.9 Fahrenheit. And that's kind of being generous. What this means is that every day is layers, and if you want to brave the great outdoors, it's lots of layers. So let's get into it. My current 10 essentials that I've been wearing this winter. Starting with some wool, because as I've said already, it's been fairly cold here and I've been pretty much wearing wool every day because it's essential. My Tom Morrison mock neck is a garment that I've covered in the earlier days of my channel, so maybe it's definitely worth an update to that video because it's a beautiful, beautiful garment and it's holding up sensationally. It's made in New Zealand, which is my actual homeland, by Tom Morrison, a fantastic menswear brand that deserves as much hype as I can give it. The knit itself is a dark green. It's almost brown, it's almost charcoal. It's a mock neck, but it's the perfect height mock neck. It's sort of high, but not too high. The body's the perfect length, the arms are the perfect length. It's just perfect to keep you warm, but not too warm. The yarn is a little chunkier than extra fine merino, thicker than a light knit that you're probably familiar with, but it's finer than maybe like a more heavyweight knit that you're probably familiar with. It's sort of a lovely in-between knit, which for me is ideal because it's actually cold here, but I tend to run hot and I don't like to sweat all day. So mixing all those factors together, it's perfect knit for me. The color is also really easy to wear in the winter, darker, cooler months, and it works well with everything else that we're going to talk about today. And I guess the same can be said with everything else here. It all works together. Next up, what might be one of my favorite garments to wear. I like to think of it as a bit of a signature garment. Of course, wearing it today, my Barber green Rowan Blazer rugby jersey. It's comfy, it's fairly warm, it layers super, super well, and it's basically just really super easy to wear. Adds a collar to an outfit that otherwise doesn't have a collar, and it makes me want to wear it. It's a garment I want to pull on, meaning I tend to wear it quite a lot. And it's also the only other layer that I have here other than the mock neck, so I tend to wear one or the other because that's all I have here. There's plenty of content on this, and I'm happy to make lots more content if people are really particularly interested in why I like rugby jerseys so much. Next up, another green thing, a bit of a trend, but mostly thanks to my wife. It's an insulated vest or a gilet, and I've been wearing it a lot as a layer either over or under the next item in terms of the video. I actually find that I've been wearing it under and closer to my body as it tends to keep me really, really nice and snug and warm, and so far that's the way I've been wearing it. I have been wearing it a lot since buying it, and again, I think that the color and the fit and the materials are very, very useful, and that's why, again, it's in my bag. I'd recommend a vest to anyone who doesn't have one. It's an essential part of my wardrobe, and it should probably be a part of yours too. Next up is another garment that since its purchase has had an insane amount of wear, which is my Informale work shirt, and it's looking absolutely fantastic. It's starting to lightly patina along the front, but other than that, everything else on this jacket is incredibly solid, especially considering how much wear it has had and how many washes and things I've put it through. Now through, you know, summer, spring, winter, autumn, it pretty much gets constant wear. The navy is super nice. It's nice and dark, but it's not too dark that it's almost black. You can definitely tell it's a navy. And the fabric, the moleskin, is insanely soft and insanely snuggly, as it was in my original review, maybe even more so. Anyway, it's just fantastic. It's a great garment to wear. It's the thing that I grab before I leave, and I don't know what the weather is going to be doing, and it's definitely a go-to item for me, even as someone who doesn't really like navy, which is crazy. Speaking of go-tos, another informale item makes it in. No surprises, they are the army chino. These are insanely durable, insanely comfortable, and in my opinion, they look really great with pretty much every pair of shoes, boots, loafers, sneakers that I own. They aren't the warmest trousers, which to me is probably the biggest downfall, and I tend to wear jeans on most other days at the moment. I really wish that I'd grabbed my pair of easy trousers, which are the flannel trousers from Informale, for warmth instead of these, but I grabbed these because they're just such a useful pant, and I felt silly not to bring them with me. Next, my first pair of jeans, and it's the perfect pair of dad jeans in a light wash, which are my Arthur from Bergenberg. I still have the same issues with the fit that I talked about in my other coverage of the jeans, but they're still very comfortable and a very useful pair of jeans that I actually enjoy wearing quite a lot. I've been wearing them with slightly stacked length, like fully unrolled, and embracing the more slouchy vibe, and I think that sort of suits the vintage dad vibes of the jeans themselves, so I'm really enjoying wearing them and very happy with those pants, and they definitely get a lot of wear at the moment. My other jeans are my Rubatu jeans in white, and they're sort of my fancy pants, if you can call them that. Basically for weekends or dates or any time that I need to dress up a little bit, they are currently my best option, other than the chinos. The white jean vibe initially seemed a little bit scary, a bit intimidating, but ultimately it was really easy to adopt, as they are similar to a pair of beige chinos in terms of how I wear them and how I pair them, which makes sense because they both basically go with everything else here. I'm actually really enjoying the white jean. Something really nice about a lighter trouser in winter, especially here in Melbourne where everyone just tends to wear exclusively black. The final piece of clothing that made it into my little suitcase was my Rubatu dad cap. I have both the beige and the sage green ones, which depending on the fit that I'm trying to wear that day. Like all good dad hats, they've patinaed and faded a lot, and they look fantastic. They've aged really nicely, and they look old, just like your dad's old hat used to look, but maybe a little bit nicer than your dad's hat was, or definitely a little bit nicer than my dad's one was. They're great to keep my head warm in winter, but not too warm. Although a beanie could have been useful on reflection, I sadly didn't consider it at the time of packing, so I packed a hat. What I did consider though was footwear. Obviously it's a fairly important part of my wardrobe, and I wanted to bring every single pair with me, but I was told by my wife that there wasn't space, so I ended up just choosing two. Crazy, I know. The first pair of shoes that I grabbed were actually my Sky boots, which are my go-to winter boots. Rain, hail, or sunshine, these boots are up to the task. The last and shape of the boot actually works best with thicker socks, which is ideal because it keeps my feet warm because I get to wear my nice merino socks. The leather is looking amazing. It's got a super nice deep chestnutty color to it. It takes a great shine. I recently applied a little bit of conditioner, but I don't have a brush with me, so that's not ideal, but they look really great in my opinion, and even without a brush, the leather just looks super healthy and the boots still look amazing. They're a boot that works well with a surprising amount of fits, and they always feel good to keep on the foot. So yeah, they're just a go-to boot, and that's why I chose them over pretty much every other pair of boots that I own. Also, I love my Edward Green Galway, but like it's just a little bit too fine for like stomping around in the mud and garden and stuff. So yeah, I choose these. And of course, when we're talking about footwear and my go-to footwear, we could not and we cannot forget the legendary Alden LHS, or my outdoor slippers. One of the best loafers in the world, as I've said before. They made it in because they're just insanely comfortable. They go with absolutely everything. The suede has been super durable, and if we won't run into a bit of bad weather, which happens to happen in winter, I don't really care. They're just great loafers. I've got tons of content out there about these loafers and loafers in general, so great pair, summer, winter, get into it, loafers, good times. That covers off the 10 items that I've been wearing the most, or my sort of winter essentials if you want to call it there. But I also have a few things that I wish I had brought down with me, other than the things that I've mentioned sort of throughout, and things that I'm looking at buying, so I thought I'd include them here too. Starting off with the Informale Biscuit knit. The newly minted, freshly released Informale KN01 crew neck jumper in biscuit, or as I like to say biscuit, is a mid-weight merino. It's a little bit thicker than the Tom Morrison, but a lot thinner than say my Shetland from Bossier's. The design is super classic, the yarn is super soft and beautiful, and the color I think is just perfect. I need something a bit lighter on my top. I have a lot of like greens and navy blues, as you can see, but it's quite dark up the top. It's not a bad thing, but I think it's nice to just have something lighter and a bit more fun up the top, so I'm really excited to hopefully acquire that and wear it. I've been extremely excited for Informale to release some form of knitwear, and I know there's been other people out there who've been demanding it as well, and their execution seems to be their classic blend of a modern take on a classic design, made from a fabric that's designed and made to last. I'm genuinely pumped to get my hands on it, and of course it's made in Melbourne as well, so knitwear made in Melbourne, designed in Melbourne. It's crazy. I'm so excited, so pumped. Next up is the R.M. Williams dry skin jacket, which is also surprisingly, very good, surprisingly made in Australia, which is why I want to buy it and why I want to support it. I want to see if I like it, because hopefully if I buy it and other people see it and buy it, and hopefully I review it and other people see it and like it, then they do more things and produce more in Australia. The design is a little bit like a brown Barber jacket, and I've been looking at buying a Barber jacket or Rail, the private white permanent style, but this is a slightly more Australian take on the design, and honestly I'm really curious about it, and I sort of can't wait to get my hands on it and see exactly what it's like and how it feels, and you know, it's Australian made and made by R.M. Williams, so yeah, definitely I will report back on that. Very exciting, very interesting. Finally, we have the relatively new Rubato Wear 3/4 zip sweatshirt, which comes in brown, navy, and desert. I haven't actually decided which color I want as yet, or even if I'm going to buy, but there's something about a 3/4 zip, or I guess a sort of rugby looking jersey, that I absolutely love. And I've enjoyed everything else that I have from Rubato to date. So again, I cannot wait to see what it's like and keep supporting Rubato and the things that they're doing. If anyone has an opinion on which color they think would look best on me, let me know down below, or which color you're interested in buying out of those three, the brown, navy, and desert. And of course, if enough people talk about it, or if anyone wants to see it, then a review will be coming soon without a doubt. From the Tom Morrison mock neck to the Rubato hat, each of my 10 pieces has served its purpose in keeping me warm, comfortable, and fairly stylish. Layering has been my go-to strategy, allowing me to brave the cold while maintaining that fashionable look. While I've shared my current favorites, I can't help but dream of adding the Informale Biscuit knit and the R.M. Williams dry skin, and of course the Rubato Wear 3/4 zip to the collection. These potential additions promise to elevate my winter outfit even further. Whether you're battling the winter cold or seeking fashion inspiration, I hope that this video has provided valuable insights and ideas for your own winter wardrobe. Stay cozy, stay stylish, and embrace the magic of winter fashion. This conclusion has been brought to you by ChatGPT. Thanks very much for watching. Links out in the description as always. Look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Cheers.